Good morning, everyone. It's Luna Bell. Y'all, I came out here and I was like, where are we going? What I noticed is one, I had my cards upside down. They were facing in the wrong direction, but it was card number 7, the chariot, that I noticed. And y'all, that reminded me why, I don't know, the red rose prophecy, but spirit took me somewhere. And y'all, I looked it up again and started doing some research again. And and y'all, I'm reading from the internet, but the red rose prophecy refers to the astrological alignment of the star Regulus with the Sphinx's gaze, which is said to occur on or around Easter Sunday of 2026. It is believed to bring about new knowledge or a spiritual awakening, potentially linked to biblical themes. It is a prominent blue-white star in the constellation of Leo, will be near the eastern horizon around early April of 2026. Now, the Sphinx faces east, so the star appearing at the horizon and the Sphinx's gaze is plausible during this time. It also coincides with Chris Bledsoe's prophecy. Now, one of the things that caught my attention, I wanted to look at, was the spiritual meaning of the east wind. Y'all, I'm going to continue reading from this. It symbolizes change, renewal, and divine intervention, and often representing new beginnings or the power of transformation across various cultures and spiritual traditions. I continued on, y'all, I'm going to keep quoting and reading from the internet. I'm going to show you this article, The Spiritual Meaning of Everything. In Native American traditions, the east wind is considered a sacred direction, representing the beginning of life and the start of a new journey. It is associated with the element of air, which is believed to carry the breath of the Creator and the power of communication. The east wind is also connected to the eagle, a symbol of strength, vision, and spiritual insight. Now, in the Bible, the east wind is often mentioned as a symbol of God's power and judgment. It is described as a scorching wind that withers crops and brings destruction. It is actually, I believe, mentioned 3 times specifically in the biblical context. In Exodus 10:13, Jonah 4:8, and Hosea 13:15. Y'all, I was quoting from that article. Now, what next caught my attention, where I jumped to next, was the light bringer, Lucifer. Now, if you look up on Wikipedia, the meaning of Lucifer, now, y'all, that's really fucking interesting article. Y'all Google that and read that article, because it's going to take you down through back in the Roman times with Roman poets, where they're having a discussion and they're talking about this. Let's see. It sounds like a he said, she said kind of shit. In the ancient Canaanite religion, the morning star is personified as the god who attempted to copy the throne of Baal. Finding he was unable to do so, descended and ruled the underworld. One moment. In that article, he mentions Timer. In Roman folklore, Lucifer, the light bringer in Latin, was the name of the planet Venus, though it was often personified as a male figure bearing a torch. What next caught my attention after I read all that, y'all, and it was very interesting because, well, you find out that, well, Lucifer is the morning star. It is the name of the morning star. It is Venus. It took me next to the 7 key concepts of Gnosticism. One moment. Back in Ovid, the Latin poet Ovid, in his first century epic, The Metamorphoses, describes Lucifer as ordering the heavens. Now, in the classical Roman period, Lucifer was not typically regarded as a deity and had few, if any, myths. Though the planet was associated with various deities and often poetically personified. Well, I'm going to spell this person's name. Cicero stated that you say that Sol and Luna are deities, and the Greeks identified the former with Apollo and the latter with Diana. But if Luna is a goddess, then Lucifer, the morning star, Venus, and the rest of the wandering stars, the Stelli, Ernest, Errantes, will have to be counted as gods. And if so, then the fixed stars as well. It sounds 555 sounds like there was an ongoing discussion, a thought. It sounds like a wee bit of he said, she said, with confusion to the name of that. But it led me to the seven Gnostic things, the seven keys concepts, and the third one being the Ouroboros. Y'all, pardon my anyhow, which means a serpent or a dragon eating its own tail, symbolizing eternity, unity of opposites, and the interconnectedness of creation and destruction. Y'all, which it also brought me to, it reminded me of the Two of Cups and what Witch and Scott, I had learned this from her yesterday actually, where she was speaking about that the Two of Cups also represents that interconnectedness with self, the feminine and the masculine aspects of self. But also notice that the woman is wearing a blue and white robes. You see this as well with the blue and white as well, I believe, on the high priestess. Can't remember. Anyhow, I'm not perfect, y'all. The blue and white also represents truth and clarity. Notice the Leo, which stands for that Leo, but also that it is in Venus and Cancer here. And then you have the the leaf crown there, where it's also in red. The colors, the red, the blue, and the white. The number 7, the east wind, the Venus star. Y'all, it just connected so many things. And then it took me to the Ouroboros, but another article that caught my attention was the Gnostic dragon symbols. I had no idea. Now, the next thing I questioned was 7, divine feminine and prophecy. I just put these words in, just 7, divine feminine and prophecy, and searched it. One of the things that popped up that really got my attention was an article. I want to show you this. And here, and it says, I hope I'm not butchering her name too badly. SHRI, and the next one is MATAGI. The next word is NIRNMALA. Then the next word is DEVI, affirms. Y'all, I didn't want to butcher her name. As she affirms, women are destined to save the world, not through imitation of patriarchal aggression, but through compassion, wisdom, and spiritual power. The prophecy from century 3.97 from Nostradamus foretells the decay of the male empire and the rise of lunar consciousness, a metaphor for the feminine awakening, the feminine Holy Spirit, the Kundalini as the active force of creation, healing, and resurrection. The feminine consciousness is rising. That is our divine feminine consciousness. Many blessings to you. Blessed be. I hope you enjoyed my spirit adventure with spirit this morning. I have, y'all. May it be blessed.